Admitting into the Zoom room right now, we have a very special guest straight from Cameo, straight from Instagram, straight from TikTok, straight from YouTube. It is Mr. JeGaysus, J Gay Jesus. How are you doing tonight?
Doing all right. How are you?
I'm great.
Oh, let me
I'm
turn up my
great.
mic a little bit.
So I
Good.
I notice you have two names, JeGaysus and Gay Jesus. Which one should we refer to you as tonight?
So JeGaysus is the proper name, right? And then the gay Jesus is just what I am.
Okay.
I
Okay.
gotcha.
Just
Awesome.
to explain it to the people reading my name,
Yeah.
because
Yeah. I was
JeGaysus might
super
not say
confused.
all of it. See, yeah.
So we found you on Cameo a couple
That's so
episodes
cool.
ago. And we have a fascination with Cameo. We love
Oh,
Cameo. We have this thing on our show where we get his name is John Roberts. He's our friend. We get him to read random stuff. We have no clue who he is. He's a dollar Cameo guy. So when we were looking at possible people to connect with on Cameo, we found you, and I was like, screw Cameo. We need to get this guy on. So tell us a little bit about your story. Tell us about becoming the JeGaysus.
all right. So I started probably about 3 years ago being JeGaysus and embracing it for all that it is. Primarily on TikTok is where I started, and I basically make religious deconstruction content. So it's focused on history and accurate translations, but then also just off the wall ideas like Gnosticism and things that have been buried for the past couple thousand years, or hypothetical questions like, if Jesus were trans, would you still love him?
Mm.
The important things. And so just kind of riding that line in between education and making people mad on the internet.
Yeah.
And I thought that was a space that I could fill just because of my look, and obviously I'm gay. So I was like, let's lean into that and just really go into the gay Jesus mode.
So you have kind of an equal balance there of some things rooted in history, and then also being asking the silly questions.
That is exactly correct. Yes, I like to be historically accurate when I can, but I'm not a scholar. So I think my main talent is bridging different topics together and making my own head canon,
Sure.
or looking at just certain words and asking dumb questions, kind of like you said. Like, for example, one of my videos was the story of, like, the sin in Eve, and how now childbirth would be painful. And it's like, now doesn't that imply that she gave
It
birth
wasn't at one
before?
point. Yeah.
Yeah. What's going on now? And like, just the questions that people will skip right over and not think about sometimes.
So I'm sure you're having a field day with all of the just everything going on in politics and all the religious indoctrination with everything. I'm in Florida, so it's all the
Ugh.
time. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. Don't judge me for the rest of my state. But I'm sure you're having a field day, and so much content is just falling into your lap.
Well, it's funny that you say that, because when I started on TikTok, it was in 2020 because of the 2020 election.
Sure.
And my first page is actually curly gay politics. And my entire focus was just on news around politics. And I left politics because it was too debate heavy, and
Yeah.
went into religion. So that was good. Uh, and now I would say I have a personal field day with politics, and I kind of try to avoid it on my account as much as possible until, like, a couple months from now. It's going to be unavoidable. I'm going to be
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
chomping
Right.
at the bit to talk about it even more.
Yeah.
So,
Well, and what
field
I
day, terrifying, hiding under a blanket, one of the two.
what I love about the religious approach, from just a trying to build a content or trying to build being a creator, is you're going to hit both audiences. You're going to hit the audiences that are going to relate with you and agree exactly with what you're saying, and
Yeah.
then the ones that hate you because they're like, I can't believe he's saying this. And it doesn't matter. A click is a click, a view is a view. And I love that. It's brilliant.
I mean, so I would agree, and it was really great for the first year until TikTok caught on, and now it's like I can't get past any kind of 1000K barrier unless I'm like really, really lucky for that.
Mhm.
Every video is just thrown into the abyss because they've marked my account as high risk, and Because they've seen all the death threats come in and they're like, something's going on. We should probably hide this person. Because like you said, some people very
Is that
angry.
real? Like you've got
You actually get death threats?
Oh, daily. Oh, yeah.
Oh my
Wow.
In the
God.
comments
my
and the
word.
DMs to my personal email, it's constant.
I
Oh my
did
God.
see
Very
when I
upset.
was doing research for this interview, I looked up just JeGaysus on YouTube and something came up. It was like JeGaysus controversy. And I was like, oh,
You know, that's actually anybody who has more than 100,000 followers. I'd say the funniest thing is like if you're on TikTok, they have the recommended search bar now.
Mhm.
And if you go to anyone's page, like if you're to look up like iJustine, the first thing that pops up on her page is iJustine controversy. Because people just want there to be a controversy, whether there is or not. They type it on every big creator.
Yeah.
But I mean,
How
just
do you
me being alive is controversy, I guess. So.
How do you deal with that though? Are you getting death threats from people on the internet?
Oh, I just ignore them. Like they're usually 13-year-olds in their basement, and I'm not I'm not great at like protecting my identity. Don't tell anybody, but like, you know, I'm not very VPN heavy or anything,
Oh,
but
so you're telling me you're not actually gay Jesus? Oh man.
well, see that part, it's true, but it's hard to get into heaven with that address. So I keep, you know, I keep my personal information, like how to get to heaven, offline. And worst comes to worst, like I'm such a pacifist. If somebody wants to fight me, they can. I'll just sit there. Like I weigh a whole 100 pounds. Come at me, I guess.
So let's talk about something non-serious real quick since we were talking about death threats. I saw you have a drink there. What are you drinking real quick? What is this?
This is kava
Okay.
tea from the kava root. It's like a anti-anxiety relaxation thing from Fiji. It's like a ritual drink.
Awesome. So what what do you turn water into? Do you turn water into tea or do you is that
Answer
all
the
right.
question.
There you go. Just making sure.
Yeah, no, I'm sober, so we went a little too heavy on the water into wine thing.
Yeah.
When you have, you know, easy access to alcohol like that, it can get a little out of hand. So kava.
I imagine. Yeah.
I
It's
love
the
that.
new, it's the new Lord, the Lord who's not naked dancing on tables.
Okay.
Unless
Okay.
you're paying for it. That's different.
Oh, that is true. He does have a cameo, so if you want to see that, you could pay for that. You could pay for that.
I don't know if they let that on Cameo. No one's asked, but try it.
Yeah, I don't know. I've actually never paid for a cameo. I've received cameos. I don't know, like if there is a criteria. I don't know. Can you say whatever? Can you do whatever?
I think you can say whatever because here's the thing. So I don't know why I never thought about it, but I was going by just JeGaysus on Cameo for probably the first year I was there, and just 2 months ago maybe I changed my name to like Gay Jesus in addition to my app being JeGaysus. And now so many people find me. I don't know if they're just typing in gay or they're typing in Jesus, but I'm getting a lot more orders. And from people who have no idea what my content is, they just find me on Cameo or look at my videos.
Right.
So I've been getting a lot of kind of, I don't want to say absurd requests, but definitely a lot of stranger requests from people who are kind of just like, I don't want to say homophobic, but let's just say it's obvious that they're straight and they're trying to troll their straight friends into like talking about just how close they are to transitioning or how gay they are, and we're all waiting.
Right.
But some of them are kind of really, really sexual, and they'll type up the script. They'll give me like a full word for word, and I haven't gotten in trouble there yet. So
now,
I think you can say whatever. I just don't think you can show whatever.
Right. Does that bother you at all, or is it just like, hey, this is fun? I'm down with that.
So I had a really weird one today where it was exactly that, and it was from one brother to another for his birthday, and it was talking about how he was the product of two homosexual prostitutes, and they're both his fathers, but he can't find them, and he's married to a trans woman named Melissa. I rolled with it, but I make it, you can watch it, it's public. That one is a public one. So you can go to my page and just see it, how I kind of took that and changed it into something where I hit all the points and it's still somehow not offensive. I'm pretty good at that. But
Oh,
like
that's
obviously
awesome.
I'm assuming his wife probably isn't trans and that's the whole joke. And two men can't have a baby. So I don't understand how he's the product of two prostitute fathers.
Well,
But
they're defying signs, so it's everything you've heard is actually true. Because I
there's,
was the one that sent in that request, so I
was
know
it you?
Stop
it
it.
was me.
Was it
Really?
you?
No, it wasn't. I'll be like,
Oh, damn. I was even like, okay, cool. Tell me about it. Explain
no,
it to
I
me,
wish.
please. I know. But I think those ones are fun. I think those are more fun than just like I like the pep talks and I like the, I love you stuff, but the ones where they're roast or just like really absurd requests, I get to get creative and throw in stuff. Um, like even the word prostitute, I don't use that word. That was their script word. So I was like, we call it sex worker, by the way. But I'm able to still put my beliefs in there a little bit.
That's cool.
That is
So what came first? Instagram, TikTok, Cameo?
I mean, personally, like in my before JeGaysus life, I've always had, Facebook and Instagram and all the jazz. But my creator first attempt would be the politics page on TikTok. So the 2020 stuck at home pandemic life had me looking for some kind of social outlet, and Facebook every time I logged in was just anger. And so I went to TikTok, and in 2020 it was very less Facebooky. Now TikTok is pretty much like Facebook. It's all fights everywhere.
Sure.
There's drama and fights. But when I was on early in 2020, it was all like the, in the house board and fun trends. So that's where I kind of jumped into it, I guess.
Gotcha. Ryan, do you have any questions for JeGaysus?
I think the only major question, actually, I have two questions. So my first question, obviously, you told us about a really wild request from Cameo that you got today. Are there any other requests that have really stuck with you from Cameo since you've been on there? Like, are they outrageous? Anything super fun? Anything that really comes to mind?
Yeah, there was one that was so interesting, I'll say. I had to make a video about it on TikTok just to like let people know and say like what is going on. And it was somebody who requested that I tell someone that they had a really good time the night before, but the issue is they still have their underwear at their house and they're trying to get in contact with them, but all they have is their handle and not their phone number. So they wanted me to say to come back and grab their underwear.
That's smooth.
And I'm like, there's no way. There's no way this is real, right? But like, maybe. And I posted it online and everyone's like, no, it's definitely trolling. But it's
That's really
oddly
funny.
specific.
That is very I don't know that that's probably the most unique event anyone's ever asked for a cameo for on the website.
You never know.
I have no idea. Yeah, I've seen some people who have some interesting niches on there that get a lot of cameo orders. Like people I've never heard of, and they say content creator, but then I go check them out. They have like 5,000 followers, but they're getting 20 cameo orders a day. I don't know how they do it, but I'm sure they're filling in some interesting niche somewhere.
Now, the other question that I had for you, so the random minor that I did in college happens to be religious studies, and I think you're the first person I've ever heard use the word Gnosticism outside of the religious studies classes. So I was curious, like, how do you do all of the like religious research? Do you have like some kind of religious like scholar type background? I'm very curious how you're able to gain all that information.
No, I grew up in the church, like in non-denominational Baptist spaces, and then I left the church when I was around 14, 15, shortly after I came out as gay, and there's all that drama. And I honestly didn't do any studying or looking into religion short of like watching Zeitgeist, which is incorrect on most points, until the age of 30 when I started the JeGaysus account. And so everything that I have knowledge wise has been built on just reading and self-research, a lot of it through debate and conversation, especially like I started with things I knew. I started with things that I learned 15 years ago when I was in church, and then people would raise questions or try to push back on me, and I'd hop online and type in the things and be like, what are they talking about? What do they mean he had a twin? And then go into a rabbit hole from there and then make a whole video about it, and then a whole series, and then a whole YouTube, and then it just grows from there. Now I have something like, I don't know, I had a Patreon member go to my wish list and send me 35 books off my Amazon wish list, and they are all related to religious studies. So I have a full library now of information to go through.
Wow.
It was overwhelming. I cried.
That's
that,
very
that,
on
that was a
character.
wish list I cried over.
Oh, that's so cool.
But yeah, just self-taught. And anyone can do it. They're always like, oh wow, I don't know how you do that. I'm like, I just Google. I mean, not just Google, like, academic papers and stuff, but still.
So are you doing the content creating full time? Is this your full time gig, or that's
yeah,
awesome?
I am now. I
Wow.
didn't. For the first 2 years, I was trying to go to school plus this full time plus my full time job, and it got too crazy. So I just went into content creation full time, kind of put school back on the back burner again, because there's no time like you're 50 to go back. Because I dropped out when I was like 18 to move to LA to act, and then now I'm like, I dropped out again at 30 so I could be a content creator. Well, it's just, I have all the books. I'll do the test later.
Right, exactly. And what did you go to school for?
Originally, I was going for social psychology, particularly with a focus in human sexualities, and a minor in theater, because I thought I was so unique doing psychology and theater together. And it turns out that's the majority of people in college who are going for acting do psychology. It's like the pool of trying to understand somebody's brain, helps you with characterization.
Oh.
And it's actually a majority of people that have a double major in that. So that's fun.
That's interesting. Now, are you still out in LA?
No, actually I moved back. I'm still in California. I was born, raised in California, basically. I was in LA for 10 years, and then right before the pandemic hit, I actually came back home. So that's the good news, because I got to skip out on the craziness that was LA.
Right.
I went probably 7 months after the pandemic started, and it was still pretty bad. Like, the streets dead empty, you know what I mean?
Right.
But I've been many times since then. It's gotten better, but I heard that the first couple of months there was like people were afraid to just open the door. So I'm glad I skipped out on that.
That was a weird time. I remember going to Publix with my wife, and just like, I thought just walking out the front door, I'm going to get COVID. Like,
Oh, I definitely thought it. Don't get me
Yeah.
wrong, but I still did it.
Right.
LA, they just didn't do it. Like, I had a friend who everything was delivered through Postmates. You know what I mean? Like, it didn't matter if it was toilet paper or toothpaste. Like, anytime he needed something, he would just Postmates, because he was not going to go to the store. And I was like, but the poor Postmates person, you're killing them.
Well, you can heal sickness, so you're all
I
good if you get.
I'm good. Yeah. I actually haven't ever got COVID, so that's the good news.
Oh,
just
wow.
There you
flu.
go.
I'm a
And
believer now.
I
am a
turned
believer.
33
I'm
this
absolutely
year,
a believer.
so I'm just saying, if I get killed,
Oh.
we'll really see, because then I'll have to come back and just be like, told you. Call it my Jesus year.
All right, so a little bit of not going deep down into politics. I'm in Florida, okay, and we've got a yo-yo as a governor who has decided to start a war with the Walt Disney Company.
There's actually an angry mob outside of Scott's house right now because he's talking to you. So.
Right.
I wouldn't doubt it.
So, what do you know about what's going on in Florida, especially in the Ron DeSantis versus Walt Disney world?
So there, I don't. Okay, so the Walt Disney World. So I know he's trying to war against Walt Disney. It's just so dumb, because like, it's not their entire GDP, but like it's a good chunk of their tax money coming from tourism, specifically Orlando-based tourism. I mean, I know Disney World is only 1/3 of the big attractions there, but it's just dumb. He's just dumb. He's just not a very good business person, governor person. It's just, yeah. I made a video when the whole leprosy thing was going around in Florida, and in the video I said, oh, like, too bad Florida's got leprosy, but they kind of brought it on themselves because they voted for someone named to Satan.
Huh. See, we just think he's got a drag queen name, you know, Rhonda Santos.
Yeah, Rhonda. She's very, very pissy.
Well, listen, don't hold everything against. It's not all of Florida. Orlando is very. We're very liberal here in Orlando.
Yeah, and like Fort Lauderdale is very gay. So I don't hold it against all Floridians. I just hold it against the majority who got him into office.
There we go. Fair enough.
There you go.
And oh my God, if he becomes president, I can't. He's like Trump because his views are so aligned and similar, but more dangerous because he's intelligent.
Yes.
And I've been saying that since the start, and it's only getting more and more apparent. Thankfully, I think he, starting the first debate, shot himself in the foot. So I don't think he has great chances, but who are we left with?
Right.
Nobody. That's not even, none of them are coming.
We
None
actually
of them
need Jesus to save us if that happens.
I will. I mean, I'm only 33, so even in being Jesus, they wouldn't legally be allowed to elect me. So there's that.
That's true.
You can be 110 and be president, but God forbid you're 33.
Right?
That's true.
Where can our listeners find you? Give us all your handles and websites and all that good stuff.
Yeah, my handles are at JeGaysus pretty much everywhere, except for TikTok. Kind of. So on TikTok, I have my main page and my backup page. My main page is constantly under attack by TikTok itself, so I cannot keep my name at JeGaysus for longer than 2 days. So my backup account is holding my name at JeGaysus for the past 2 months. So that's where you'll go to find me there. But if you want to find me on my main TikTok, my big TikTok, it's at footwashingchrist.
At footwashing Christ. I love that.
Yes, because at the same time my video or my name got pulled, I had a viral video that got like 500,000 views discussing well, it's actually a stitch with somebody else, and then putting in my skit that I did 2 years ago discussing what foot washing actually means in the Hebrew context and how it's a euphemism for sex. So I thought, smash them together, and then I started a feet finder profile.
I was just about to ask you about that.
Yeah.
I was just about to.
I was like, oh, this is like self-promotion. We're gonna talk about my viral video about my feet finder.
Yeah.
And it's just funny. The feet finder I haven't got a single anything off that, so I don't know if I'd recommend that. They charge $100 to start a profile. Oh my God. And I've made 0. So there's that. But hey, if anyone likes feet, go for it.
What's your favorite sandal brand?
I just wear whatever flip-flops I have. I'm a huge flip-flop person more than I am shoes. I think it's like part of my more autistic side. I don't like socks. I don't like certain textures. I feel claustrophobic in shoes a lot of times. So I don't have
It would also probably feel weird walking on water with shoes.
No, you have to do that one barefoot.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's like you're sliding around.
Exactly.
Yeah, no. But I do have Jesus sandals. I don't know where they're at, but they hurt. I don't understand why. I typed in Jesus sandals, and like they have like the slider kind of thing going on, and they're cracked leather, so they really look really like good in the desert sand, But they have stubs on the inside of them that are supposed to massage your feet, but they're pointy and not rounded, so they just stab your feet. And I think maybe that's what they meant by Jesus sandals. You have to go through the pain of walking like Jesus. I get it now.
I think that's right.
They should have put that in clear text on the Amazon listing, so I knew.
Yeah, I think. Well, I'm looking at my notes here at the very bottom. It says "fuck you, Dane." I don't know what that question. What's that question?
It's not a question. Just my feelings towards you.
Oh, okay. Well, JeGaysus,
That sounds a lot like my Cameo request. That's the only thing. They won't give me notes, names, or anything. It just says "fuck you, Dean." I'm like, okay, let's do that. Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh, this was fun. Thank you. Thank you, JeGaysus, for coming on. We're gonna have to have you on another time. This was so much fun.
I love it. I love just hanging out and getting to know people, and you all seem like good people, and I enjoy laughing back and forth. This is nice.
Well, thank
Absolutely.
you.
I
Thank
think,
you so
I think
much.
I think a full episode is needed. I think a full
I
Yes.
will be available for that, yeah. And I will bless you all before I leave,
Yeah.
with a game and
Oh, we do have one more thing. We do
Where
have
was
we do have time for one more thing. So,
Oh.
the third segment, real quick. I mean, it's not really a third segment because it's going to take like 10 minutes probably. I wanted to have a debate real quick. I wanted to have a debate because I thought this was interesting. So I think I know what you're going to answer, JeGaysus, but should wine or grape juice be served at communion? What do you think? We'll start,
No.
Scott. We'll start with you.
Listen, as a first grader or second grader, whatever, when I received my first communion in the Catholic Church, I couldn't wait to get some of that church wine, which was real wine. So I am all for keep the real wine.
Okay, Scott is team wine. Ryan, what do you say? The sophisticated gentleman, I should say. What do you say?
Yeah, so back when I was an undergrad at a Catholic school, even though I am no longer Catholic, it was entertaining having the whole area with the church wine just available, because I'm sure there were many people who would break in and try to get some of the wine for the parties. I do not know.
That's true.
So I'd say keep it up. If the folks haven't stolen it, more power to the church there. And if they have, then clearly there's a system that's working. So keep the wine.
Yeah, I'm for sure saying the wine. Absolutely. It's the only reason I don't go to church, but if I would go to church, it would be because of the communion wine. It would be because of the communion wine.
Please do not go sit through a 2-hour sermon to get a shot glass of wine. That's literally like 0.0005% alcohol when you're measuring for volume. Like, just go buy a bottle of wine. It'll be okay.
Now,
No,
I will
I'm
say the
saying
wine
no. That's my vote because A, you're drinking my blood. In your head, you're
That's
drinking
true,
my
yeah, that's
blood.
true,
Like,
that's
what kind
true.
of cannibalistic freaks are y'all? Stop.
True, yeah.
Like, it's
Right.
blood magic. And how many times is witchcraft like saying no, don't be a witchcraft, and then you're gonna do blood magic by ingesting it? At the very least, just like rub it on your forehead and call it a day. No, I think it's weird.
Oh my god. Oh my gosh. Ryan, you were hosting this episode, so you can do the outro for me.
Yeah. So first off, JeGaysus, what can you tell us about what's upcoming on your TikTok page? Anything exciting that your viewers can look forward to?
Good question. So I've been kind of not doing series a little bit, but I recently stumbled on, I guess, a thought that I want to do. So I'm going to do like a 10-part series about the origins of Satan and miscommunications. I talked about it multiple times on my channel, but I've never done it in a skit format where I like have me talking to JeGaysus, which is kind of more of my style and how I got known. And then I got lazy, and now I just yell at the camera without my outfit on. And so I'm gonna do like an actual like fun version of why Satan is not a character, and I think people should look forward to that. My main drive right now is YouTube. It's the only place I'm verified, so I feel safer making content there. But I'm trying to get more into long form, like explainers, going more in depth into some of these things. My goal, again, I'm not a scholar, but I have a propensity for being able to take complicated topics and break them down to like a layman's term. So I want to be able to do that more for people.
Yeah, that
Those are
sounds
the exciting
super awesome.
things.
No, that's super neat. I think it's really, really cool to see somebody explain the ideas behind religion like an actual modern way instead of like with like the old English that you see in like the King James Bible and all that. So that's awesome. Scott, what's
Yes,
coming up
yes.
on
There's
the
definitely a place for that. Like I have a lot of scholar friends, but like God bless them. Even me, my eyes will glaze over when they start talking about different participles and conjugations in Hebrew and why this dot over the letter changes it to mean. I'm like,
Oh, absolutely. Now, Scott, what's coming up on the No New Friends podcast?
Oh, so much, so much. More shenanigans in adulting. We just did our very first NNF Reacts on Twitch. That was a lot of fun. And in December, I don't have an exact date, but in December, we will have Andrea Barber, aka Kimmy Gibbler from Full and Fuller House on. So we're looking forward to that. As soon as I have the confirmed date, it will be happening. I think it's December 6th. But I will
I
let
thought you were
everybody
going to
know.
say we're going to do the Christmas carols. Like, no, we're not.
Yeah, it's probably not going to
That's
happen
never
this year.
happening.
Oh, that's so exciting. I know how much you love the classic sitcoms as well, Scott. So I'm super excited for you, man.
Absolutely.
And Dane, what's coming up on Big Beautiful Diz?
Oh, I don't know. No, I do. It's it's tomorrow or Saturday because this is releasing on Monday. This will already be out. It's my review on the Marvels, newest Marvel movie. It's not good, so tune in.
I look forward to hearing you.
It's not good. So tune into that video.
Well, then, the worse the movie gets, the better the review is.
That's fair. And over on Cases of Continuity, I am nearly.
Oh, let me
completely
guess. James Bond.
Yes, although that is also the concept behind my show, digging into the full franchise. So I am about halfway through the Pierce Brosnan era once this releases. My new episode on The World Is Not Enough will be releasing. And then as we finish up Pierce Brosnan, we'll be going through the Daniel Craig era in December. So that should be fun as well. So on behalf of JeGaysus, Scott, and Dane, thank you all for joining us. My name is Ryan. Thanks for listening to Creators United, and we'll see you next time. And Scott,
Love you guys.
we love you.
We love you, Scott.
Thank you all.